Constitution. And as we look and debate and we compromise and we look at things, we go back to that Constitution and see how it relates or squares what was written there. That's a commonness to all Americans that I think we can agree on and work forward with. I don't care what party you're from. I care about solutions. I care about fixing problems. I care about making sure my kid's future is bright. And if that takes working with 434 other people, I'm happy to do that.
Ms. Vann, are you ready? Go ahead.
It's absolutely crucial for the future of this country that we start working together. I hold an office currently that's nonpartisan, and I've been able to build coalitions with my other nonpartisan members who are all really partisan behind the scenes for the future of our counties and the state. We've solved problems by coming together and putting our political partisanism aside. We've come together by looking at what's important for the citizens that we serve and finding a way to solve these problems. We don't let the rhetoric and the jibber-jabber and the talk get to us. We work hard to make sure that we put the people we represent first. And the voters of the state spoke out about that pretty clearly in the last election cycle when they approved the open primary ballot system. This time, when you vote, no matter what your registration is, you can pick the person that's best to serve you in Congress, not the best party to represent you. And that's a very important distinction in this race. You have to be able to reach across party lines and not have your votes every step of the way reflect your ideology and your partisanship. You have to be able to connect with people and understand what people are going through in their communities and understand what they need from you as a representative. And you have to be able to put that connection to work in solving problems. And not just in passing new laws to regulate more things, but in undoing some of the regulations that we've put into place over the last 3 to 4 years. We have to come together to, like I said in my opening statement, to remove the shackles from businesses so that you can get this country back to work, not government. And I think reaching across party lines is the only way we can do this. Now, as chair, again, of the Regional Council of Rural Counties, I have to work with 31 counties in this state. And I guarantee you, 95% of our issues are partisan issues. But I was chosen as their leader from the state because of my ability to put partisanship aside and solve problems for rural California. And I'm going to apply that to solving problems for the 3rd Congressional District.
I've been informed there's a little problem hearing some of you, so make sure you're speaking close to or into a microphone. Okay? I think did we hear Ms. Vann? Okay. So I think it's probably you two in the middle. Just move the mic right in front of you, at least. And gentleman right there, Mr. Bernardini, he'll tell you if we can't hear you.
Or for the TV.
Okay. Oh, for the TV. Okay. Okay, Mr. Ray, you're up. Sure. Most Americans believe that Congress is more divided along party lines than it has ever been in modern history. If elected, what would you do to help achieve bipartisanship in Congress?
Well, the answer is yes, they are. I don't know if they're more divided than they've ever been. If you read back to American history, that's a pretty good balance in Congress. But one of the things that I know we definitely have to do, with all the issues that we have going on right now, what was a couple months back where the Congress's biggest argument at that point was, is tomato paste a vegetable? There are a lot more important things to be taken care of than that. I find that when I sit down with people, people are amazed to find out there's a lot of rhetoric on the left and the right back in Washington. A lot of noise, a lot of yelling and screaming. Both parties trying to make the other party look bad. What I find when I sit down with people, if I sit down with anybody, I don't care what party they're from, it can be 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't find some agreement, and I don't get a vote. And the reason is that all y'all just people yell and scream on both the far left and the far right, the vast majority of Americans are just a little left or right of center. Now, when you set down a problem and lay out the solution so that they can see it and it makes sense, they're amazed to find out how much they actually agree on. The key is, if you can do it here, you can do it there. Now, there's going to be some other issues because you've got you've got politicians that, that own people, that there's been money taken care of, and it's hard to get a straight result from some of those folks. But if you take your solution and it makes sense, and you take it to the people who are their elected can put enough pressure on them to get them to vote. That's one thing. The other thing is there was a very good crop of freshman congressmen that came in last time, and I'm hoping that they're going to get some additions of one, which I'm hoping to be one this time. And by working together, we may be able to create a majority to be able to get some things done this time.
Congressman Garamendi.
Let me start by introducing my wife of a few years, Patty. She was the one that really taught me about bipartisan, both her mother and father were Republicans. And, so we learned right away about the necessity for compromise, at least around the dinner table for Thanksgiving, Easter, and so forth. I've been at this many years. The rewriting of the California corporate and personal income tax code, in which we actually reduced the tax rates back in the mid-80s.